The rule of law is the basic thing that guides democracy. Any nation that purports to practice democracy must base so on the rule of law. Unfortunately for Nigeria, rule of law has been tossed aside. Rule of law has become a game in Nigeria, a game that favors the rich and punishes the poor. Two people commit the same offense. One is a politician, the other is a Nigerian, an average Nigerian. He is punished to the full extent of the law. The politician will find his way around. Not just finding his way around, he will find himself into even higher offices in Nigeria. Someone said, steal big, steal even bigger. When they catch you, defect, go to the ruling party, your sins are washed away. That is the situation of Nigeria. That is where we are at the moment. Now, Nigeria has become a nation without punishment, a nation where the politicians have no atom of punishment, no iota of accountability. Now, if you remember, when this administration came into power in 2023, there was so much noise about the refineries. Probably because the Dangote refinery was, starting to function. There was so much noise about the Warri refinery, about this one refinery, that refinery, Kano refinery, and up to almost R1 billion was released for this. Fast forward to 2025. The noise around that refinery has died down. And what are we hearing? That it has stopped functioning. We heard the noise about the Nigerian air, and the people squandered billions for Nigerian air. Where is it today? It is no longer functioning. Money successfully squandered. This is Nigeria. And where are the people who orchestrated these things? Have they been punished? Nobody takes account for all these things. This is Nigeria, where a politician steals billions. I mean, billions of naira, sometimes billions of dollars. And he finds himself still in the corridors of power. No punishment. Sometimes I begin to wonder, what is the real reason why we instituted that red and white group called EFCC? Because it seems that that particular organization is only for Yahoo boys. It's only for harassing Yahoo boys, breaking into people's houses at night, going into students' lodge at night. Because we have seen countless politicians that have been found guilty of stealing billions. Some of them, they don't even care to investigate them. This is Nigeria. They don't even care to investigate some of those politicians. Probably because they dine and wine with them, or maybe allegedly they were given some money. Because there is no explanation to the fact that the EFCC comes to full force when it comes to breaking into students' hostels, harassing young Nigerians, and placing them on the internet for the whole world to see how evil the Nigerian youths are, how fraudulent they are. But we have the many Yahoo boys in the government houses, and the EFCC goes silent. How do I explain it? How do you explain that the EFCC only functions for the youths, only functions for Nigerians, but does not function when it comes to politicians? They lose their power. They begin to preach the Bible. They begin to preach the Quran, because that's the latest one. They come on X and social media to be preaching the Bible and Quran for us. They have turned preachers instead of doing the job that they were asked to do. Welcome to Nigeria. We have become so much lawless in Nigeria that politicians do things at their own whims and nothing happens. Politicians rig elections. We see it. Somebody was rigged into office, and the person who rigged him into office is being arraigned. The person they rigged, instead of being brought down to answer for the rigging, he is still in his office. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. In a Senate climb, when a politician is accused of sexual misconduct or certain kind of crimes, they step down for independent investigation. In Nigeria, you that brought out the case will be punished. Welcome to Nigeria. We become so lawless. A country without punishment. Maybe the only punishment reserved in Nigeria are for the poor, for the common Nigerian. The politicians are above the law. One would define the rule of law. We say that everybody is under the law, from the president down to the newly born child in Nigeria falls under the law. But today, what are we seeing in Nigeria? Politicians are totally above the law. That is why a politician will pick up the microphone of interview and speak blatantly and with no qualms about an elected official, threatening an elected official, and because probably the law is in their hands, whatever they plan happen, and the elected official has to come and beg them. Have you seen that before? How do you explain this kind of situation that we have found ourselves in Nigeria? How? Until we begin to punish the highs and mighties, any society that sacrifices its laws and the constitutions for the whims of the supposed elites, because I'm yet to define to myself what elitism means when it comes to Nigeria. The word elite has been so much bastardized in Nigeria that thieves now call themselves elites. Swindlers now call themselves elites. People who rig elections are now calling themselves elites. People who steal the money belonging to the people, to the states, to the senatorial districts, all of them are now elites. It's a game of how much you steal. If you're able to steal the amount that covers you, you become immune to the law. Welcome to Nigeria. We have become so much a country without law. A country that does not fear any atom of consequence while doing things. How did we end into this? How did we come to this point where politicians have become above the law? How did we come to the point where people who speak the truth become threatened in broad daylight? They are arrested, not even charged to court or sued to court. They are arrested, and the police and the security outfits in Nigeria have made themselves agents of the politicians. Instead of working for the law of the land, they have become agents of politicians, agents of the highs and the mighties. So the rich can now tell the police to go and arrest somebody, and they go. And in open, they are bragging about it without shame. Welcome to Nigeria. By the time we finish with Nigeria, by the time we bastardize Nigeria to a certain extent, we will know whether we still have a country to call our own. Because one thing with life is that I believe in karma. There is no how you play evil and expect a good return. It will come back. One day, all these things we are doing will come back to look us in the face, and they tell us as a nation that we bastardized everything that stood for good. A politician steals billions, and the students in the schools can't even buy textbooks for themselves. Don't even have laboratories and libraries. The leaders, so-called leaders of tomorrow. But a politician steals billions, and he finds himself, see how they fashioned it. You go from local government to House of Assembly, then you go to governorship. So it's a full-time job now. You go from governorship. The people who we elect in offices are people without job, people with no track record of anything, positive in their life. And then before you know it, he has lined up a fleet of security cars, a fleet of... how did we get to this point? He begins to buy Rolls Royce, buy Lamborghini. From where did he get the money? The money belonging to Nigerians. Stolen money. And they brag about it. I call them trinket box politicians who have nothing whatsoever doing in politics in the real sense of it. Thieves. I just hope we turn a new leaf. I just hope Nigerians will reclaim their voice. I just hope Nigerians will stop being cowards. I just hope Nigerians will stop allowing these politicians, these bunch of thieves. I just hope Nigerian youths and Nigerians will wake up. 2027 is already approaching, and some of them have already started campaign on what platter? The platter of the stolen money and defection. They are now gathering themselves, trying to make Nigeria a one-party state. Not because they have done anything, not because of anything positive, but because they believe that they will rig themselves again into offices. That is why, because we have no consequences, in the real sense of it, the power of the governor, the power of the state senator, the power of the president, vice president lies in the number of votes he got from the people of a particular party. And if they are not able, because they are working under a platform, if they defect to another party, in the real sense of it, they should resign. Their seat should be declared vacant. A rerun of election should be done. But Nigeria has become lawless, so anybody can wake up any day and defect, and there is no consequence. Welcome to Nigeria. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the situation of Nigeria. Remember to subscribe, to like, share, and to comment, and I'll see you on the next one. This is Diary of a Broken Man. Cheers.